Well, I promised an adventure, so that adventure's happening. Right now, we're just throwing things in the truck to get ready to go. We got a long journey ahead of us up to Montana. We're gonna get some parts for 4G. Stay tuned. Up here in Wyoming, Dad's taking a turn at the wheel, and I'm still surprised how lush and green everything is up here this time of the year. We're about 600 miles out from our destination. We are 440 miles in. We're in Sheridan, Wyoming right now. We're at mile 575 up in Billings, Montana, and those brand new tires on the trailer, somebody put rookie rings on them. Who was that, Dad?
Gee, I wonder who. Driving at the curb in Billings.
Just a wee bit. Oh well. Mile 622, and we are at our destination, mile 816, Helena, Montana. So let's see what we got.
Sun it up on there?
Yeah, a little bit, just a hair.
That'll be fine. That's fine.
I think we're okay. That's perfect.
You think?
Yeah. Little insurance for 4G's engine, big time. This gentleman is the kindest gentleman I've ever met. Narrow pads for 4G. This is going to be an awesome donor. And we can save 5T. There we go.
How straight are we?
You're not bad.
We need to go that way, huh?
Yeah, just a hair. We're going. We're on.
Yeah, we're on, but
Barely.
I need to go that way.
It's pulling it that way.
There. There. I don't want that cable to snap.
Yeah. We'll get her now.
It's good now.
You want to grab a block we can throw behind the track? Done this before. I'd stay, stop, right there. Perfect. And we're going to hit the road. We're on our way back. We're on I-90, and it's actually a nice cloudy day. We were worried about the heat on the trailer tires and everything, but it's around 80 degrees. Not terrible. Yesterday in Helena, where we picked up these D4 parts, it got to 102. It was super hot up there. but we're moseying back home. And we met one of the nicest people I've ever met up there. And we're very grateful that he's a friend of the channel, that wanted to help out the channel and help us finish 4G. And it meant a lot to us. So thank you. And yeah, I'm doing my share of the driving. It's just so I can work the camera when Dad's driving. Both of us drove trucks quite a few years. You love driving a truck, right?
I hated driving a truck. I wanted to be in the loader all day, loading trucks.
So who drove the truck most of the time?
Well, that would be your job.
Yeah, a lot of hours in a truck. We keep wondering how many D4s have we passed that are in a barn or on a farm somewhere out there that are forgotten about and rotting away. We're gonna mosey back home, take it easy, hit a few places on the way, take the back roads, and stop at Laramie and visit antique crawler parts. I got a couple things there to pick up. We're 1,100 miles even on the trip on our way back, and we're gonna stay tonight in Thermopolis in Wyoming. Mile 1347, we're in Casper on our way back home. We're heading to Laramie. We're at mile 1,390 between Casper and Laramie. And on our way to Laramie, just thought we'd stop and soak in this beautiful view out here. Kind of check our load, make sure everything's still tight. Definitely desolate, nobody out here. Looks like my kind of place. Looking good, this thing hasn't budged. We did stop in Thermopolis, and I got a little bit of Marble Mystery Oil and kind of put in here around these valves and worked them a little bit, and hopefully some of it got in the pistons, and we figured on the ride home, the shaking it around, maybe something will keep it nice and work loose. When we get home, we're gonna turn this thing and see if it's free. And I was told that this #2 cylinder is a little low on compression, but everything else is good. 4G is gonna love these new parts. And we are definitely loving the scenery, aren't we?
Yeah. It's quiet, open, but warm.
Yeah. I'd be happy here. Mile number 1,499, and we're in Laramie. Just picked up a few parts for 4G up here in Laramie from Antique Crawler Parts. Highly recommended for parts and service and restoration projects. Give them a call. We got the sun high over us, and we got the parts back. The kitty's out here helping me inspect, and we wouldn't expect anything less. I think the marble that we dumped in here and on these valves and pushed the valves in and out and dumped some oil in there, I don't think it did us any harm. In fact, I just was out here and casually turned this, and I don't know if you can hear that. This is the first free D4400 I think I've ever seen. Virtually takes zero effort hardly to move it, so it's free. And you can see down there that the main pulley's moving when I turn the fan. So these are going to be some great parts for 4G. I know we were super worried about not having a lot of parts. That's why we've kind of been dragging our feet. And Kitty with the claws, hello. That's why we've been dragging our feet, taking apart the engine for 4G. Yeah, we have the parts to kind of put it together, but we need to clean it up. But we wanted to have some insurance, and this is going to have a lot of parts that I think we're going to need, including injectors, because the injectors on 4G are very marginal. We did test them. What? You just got to be in the picture, huh? You're Miss Movie Star Kitty. Track chains look pretty decent. About the same as 4G, roughly. But these pads are definitely better. The ones on 4G are scalloped here in the back. A lot worse than this. These have been added on. They've had it welded on there. It really doesn't detract anything in my opinion, and no reason not to use them. Same size, same length, same width grousers as 4G, and there's a lot of really good usable parts on here for 4G and 5T. Sitting over there. And this machine was definitely a dozer machine. It had a brush guard on here, kind of a makeshift one, kind of I don't know, a ROPS cage over the cab. But this drawbar is really in a lot better shape than either 5T and definitely 4G. We would need to bend these back a little bit. Not a big deal, but this swing plate is really what's exciting because all of them that we have are really dished out. You can tell that this was a dozer, that this didn't get much use as a drawbar tractor. The other thing that we're very heavily considering is these sprockets. We have one sprocket on 4G that's very sharp. This one's not as good as the other side, but it may be worth our while to go ahead and pop one of these sprockets off, clean it and paint it, and put it on 4G. The radiator's another question mark we were worried about. This one's not in terrible shape. The oil cooler does leak, but from what I understand, especially for a parade tractor like 4G, I'm not too worried about an oil cooler. So 4G and 5T can expect to get a lot of parts off of here. And that was a very generous offer, and I'm glad we took them up on it. Yeah, it was a trek. It was a lot of miles up there. I think it was over 1,600 there and back. But definitely well worth it. Great person, great community. I love the tractor community. I'm having fun with the YouTube channel, and Dad is too. And I think I'm going to put 7J's carcass right there next to 5T. And parts of 4G. One thing about it, it very much warmed my heart to find people out there that are such big fans of the channel and willing to help Dad and I see this through. And we very much appreciate it. And my son talked about having a YouTube channel for years, and I'm glad that I can at least try to make that happen for him. And if nothing else, at least this trip up to Helena gave Dad and I a great chance to talk about what happened. And it was really good. We had a great trip, met a really great person, and we're really happy we did it. Let's get this thing unloaded. All right. Anchors away, my boy. Perfect. Now let's get this engine unloaded. It's a little wonky. I'm going to pick it up again, do a little bit extra cribbing so we can strap it down to the pallet and get it inside out of the weather. This is 7J4265W. Alright, I'm gonna put a little cribbing and get this a little bit safer. So we're gonna get it inside, and then when we can, we'll get it outside and start cleaning it. Ooh, she's heavy. I was on my tiptoes with this skid steer when I got it unloaded, but I was out further on the forks. Alright, where are you gonna live? I got a good idea. Don't you go anywhere. I miss the rain that I kept talking about weeks ago. This is miserable out here. 102 degrees. I've about had it. I'm gonna park this and get inside where it's cool. That'll conclude our 1,605 mile trip. It was quite an adventure. Dad and I really enjoyed it. We loved meeting a fan, somebody rooting for us on the show that wanted to help us out. It was a fantastic time, and we got a lot of really good parts for 5T, but mostly 4G. So we want to thank you again. Thank you for the parts. You know who you are. You're a wonderful person. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting the channel, subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one. Dad couldn't find Hannah, Montana on the map, even though he tried.